Hey Tech Math, here are the notes for 8.1. The first thing we're going to be talking about is unit prices. So start by listing anything you know about unit price. You can pause the video if it takes you more than a minute here. The big idea behind unit price, it is the cost per single item or per single unit of something that is sold in a group, of something sold as more than one. Now this is a big wordy definition, but essentially it means you could buy a bunch of bananas, but ultimately each banana has a certain value, and we want to know what a single banana or a single item of a group is worth. So our formula for this is a unit price is equal to the total price divided by the number of items in the group, or number of items being sold. So if you have like $3 worth of bananas, but there's 3 bananas, you would say $3 divided by 3, because there's 3 separate bananas. So let's go on to these next examples. You have 2 options to get nails. You can either get a half pound for 53 cents, or you can get 1.5 pounds for $1.53. To find the unit price, we're going to take the price, in this case it's going to be 53 cents, and we're going to divide it by the number of items. In this case, we want to know per 1 pound how much these nails are. So I'm going to say divided by 0.5. So the first type of nails that we could buy are going to be $1.06 per 1 pound. Now, for this one, I'm going to do $1.53 divided by 1.5. And I find that these nails are only $1.02 per pound. So if the nails are exactly the same and the only difference is the brand, I would want to choose the $1.02 per pound. I would want to choose nails B because it is the better option based on unit price. All right, let's keep going. If I have 2 options for synthetic oil, I can either do $3.45 per quart. Now that one is already in a unit price because it's per a single quart. But this one is a box of 6 1-quart containers that cost $20.10 for all of it. But how much does a single one cost? Well, in order to find that out, we have to figure out what one of these quarts costs. So we're going to do 2010 divided by 6. And we find that in this case, put it back here, sorry, these are going to be $3.35 per quart. So if you're comparing $3.45 per quart or $3.35 per quart, we're going to want to go with synthetic oil B because it is cheaper. Now, it is not always true that the option where you buy more is cheaper, but it is very often true. And why is this the case? Well, part of it has to do with packaging. If you can package more things into a larger container, you still use less material to package it. So let's talk about this one. Do we want 4 32-ounce cans or 6 16-ounce cans? Well, we have to figure out per can how much it's going to cost and per ounce. So if I want to know per ounce, I'm going to multiply this 4 times 32 because that's ultimately how much product or how many peas I'm getting. So 4 times 32 is 128 ounces. So I'm going to put that back here and say 128 ounces. Then down here, I'm going to do the same thing and say how much am I getting with this option? Well, I'm only getting 96 ounces. That makes sense. I'm getting less because I'm getting less here. But per ounce, how much does each one cost? Well, we have to say 560 divided by 128 ounces. Per ounce, my first brand is going to cost me 0.04 cents per ounce. And I'm rounding that to whole cents here. The second one, when I do 460 divided by 96, just like my formula says, This one, when I round, is actually going to be 0.05 per ounce. Now that's not a huge difference. It's a pretty small, insignificant amount, but just by a little bit, our second one is gonna be the better purchase. Again, we don't care about little cents like this, but think about if you run a huge company and you're not buying small 96 ounce worth amounts of any food product. You're buying pounds and gallons of different things. These cents do start to add up when you run a company. So this is why companies really like to do these kind of things. So what is one benefit of using unit price? I have linked a video onto the notes for today that I will also be showing in class. You can watch that video and then answer these, or you can kind of just logic your way through them. So what's one benefit of using unit price? One easy benefit is that you can determine the cost per single unit. Why do we want to do that though? What is that beneficial to us? Well, it tells us how expensive or cheap a product is based on its brand. So you can compare brands based on unit prices. Because if two companies sell the exact same product but they market it differently, it may cost different amounts even though you are getting the same thing. Why are two of the same product priced so differently? Well, I kind of just hinted at that. Marketing is a huge aspect of this. A t-shirt made by Walmart for $3 is made in almost the exact same way as a t-shirt made by Kanye. But why does Kanye's t-shirt cost so much more? Well, it has to do with branding and marketing. It also costs money to make the product. So based on the expense of the production, if one company does something in a cheaper manner, it may cost them less to sell as well. And then the last one isn't necessarily a right or wrong answer. I want to know, do you use unit prices when you shop? Why or why not? I do when I go to the store because I like to be money savvy. I like to spend my money on things that bring me happiness and not so much brand names. I don't have a lot of brand names in my closet, so I don't spend a lot of money on brand name clothing or brand name food or anything like that. Do you have a reason why you do? Let me know. I'm just curious. All right, this is the notes for 8.1.